Ladies and gentlemen, MrCropper here. Onar and I did a short video, an hour-long video called What is a Story or Narrative? And I just want to do a really short version of that here and just say that a story or a narrative is like a sentence. A sentence has the subject, the verb, it has something and an event, it has a story. A sentence itself is a microcosm of a story. And a story or a narrative serves the same function in philosophy or in culture, let's say, as a sentence serves in ideas. In order to get ideas across, you have to set up one sentence after another. And the sentences by themselves have to tell miniature stories, and then the paragraph has to tell its own coherent story, and then the book or whatever tells its story. You'll see over here on the screen a painting of a woman with a tool. Someone might know what is that tool, a rake, maybe specifically some sort of tool. And she's looking out, she's a shepherd, I'll assume. That's probably a shepherd tool. So we've got a whole story about her with her flock there doing what she does. There's a story in that picture. And there's a story there in that picture. Seattle sitting there. There's more of a story in this one with the rail. There's a story in things. Like there's a sentence that has a beginning, it has the things in it, it has events, it refers to reality. That's why a sentence is what it is. That's why it's necessary for it to be built the way it does, is because it refers to reality. Now, a narrative, or a story, a narrative, as Onar has been harping on the sense of it, means that your ideas refer to reality. They resound with reality. They speak to reality. They ring true. Okay, that's what, now we're not saying necessarily that objectivism doesn't do that, or that Christianity is the best at that, or anything like that. We're just trying to notice the fact that these things ring true in some way of which we ought to be aware. We ought to take notice of it and try to appreciate and understand how it is that narrative or story is the backdrop on which everything has to be hung. And that's, perhaps Ayn Rand understood that, and that's why she wrote The Fountainhead and Atlas Shrugged, because she knew that you need a mythology, you need a story, you need... Now, the metaphors and the stories in Atlas Shrugged will echo for ages. The great empty oak tree, and the man who stopped the power, took away the power of the world, the motive power of the world, the metaphor of the mind being the motive of the world. It's all a metaphor. It's a massive symphony of metaphors. And a story is just the narrative grouping of the metaphors that speak to life. A story speaks to life. That's what a story or a narrative is in this largest sense in which Onar is trying to use it. So don't get nervous. We're not trying to make objectivism for, what did I title those videos? Objectivism for religious people, or religion for objectivists? I was just trolling you guys.